unfortunately. What's up, everyone? Freakenstein here, and today I got a special guest, 3D Printing Titans. And you can see in the background there, you can see what he's been doing. It is some fantastic work. So if you have not checked out his video, make sure you check out his video. Like always, subscribe to everybody that supports Transformers. So, Alvin, how is it going over there in your printing world?
I'm working on a fourth Unicron right now, which is like the floating face. It's about 81 inches tall, and I just
Wow.
completed like, the first half of it. And my goal is to kind of like become a vendor in TFCon 2025 in Burbank, LA, Los Angeles. So that's the goal. I went to TFCon in 2024 in March, and I brought was I brought this guy a Metroplex 40 inches tall, and then I brought a that Triptychon that's also 40 inches tall. So I
Wow.
brought those two. Obviously, I didn't even know what a TFCon was. I just knew there was a convention that year, so I was working really hard. I bought two printers. I started printing really fast, whatever I could, and I finally got it. I brought both Titans to the convention, but I didn't have time to register as a vendor, so I just sat outside of the Marriott hotel and just like posted up and started attracting crowds out there.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
yeah, I'm still brand new to this whole collection. I just started this year, but I was originally a fan back in the '80s. I'm 43 now, so the only thing I knew of were the season one cast. Anything season two, season three, and then the movie came out. I was like, "Where's the original characters?" Which turned me off. I didn't even watch the movie when I was that little. So I was like, "What happened to the Transformers that I knew of on Saturday morning cartoons?" And then I was like, "Where are they?" And then I just completely lost interest with the whole niche or the genre of the Transformers. And then a friend showed me a couple of his masterpieces. I was like, "Wow, these are really good." They're I saw a couple of like his masterpiece collection, and that just brought me back in. So I started collecting really just KOs of masterpieces. And then I've always been in the 3D printing world, and I didn't know what a Triptychon was. I didn't know who Unicron was because I was never exposed to it. Metro Titan, like all these Galvatron. I was like, who's Galvatron? So I started like looking them up. I was like, oh crap, I've been missing out on a lot of seasons. So the whole Unicron thing, like this is what I've been doing for the past year. So these are like two 6-footers. They're about like 72 inches to 77 inches right now. I have the legs done. I just got to paint they're painted. I just got to figure out how to like bolt them on, and then test it to make sure they're able to stand on their own without collapsing or buckling. So that's what
So,
I'm waiting for. Yeah.
is it hollow inside, or is it
Um,
pretty stacked with like support?
there's some parts that are like 100% infill. That means it's solid plastic, so that way it's sturdy. I have like dowels in between each joint, so it's dowels plus glue, so it's not going to fall apart. But there's going to be some parts that's like 10%, 50% infill, which is a little bit hollow to keep it light. So the arms, they're like hollow. Usually, like the legs, the middle part, like the hips, that's like a little bit more solid. But yeah.
Now, my question is this: is it hollow enough cavities where you can maybe fill it with a spray foam to give it that light but rigid?
I could, but then again, it's like if I wanted to bring these out to like TF cons, I was like, this is gonna reach like 100 pounds, and like it's gonna be hard for me to carry or build them up by myself. It'd have to be a 2-man person to like transport these big robots. I even struggled with this one here, this 40-inch Metroplex. That was pretty tough to like bring two Titans myself.
So, I got the next project for you for it. Then I just got to build a couple Optimus Prime trailers, make one Nemesis Prime, whatever, all this, and just have it so that you pull the trailers in there and they just lift up and open up, and you got it done. You don't have to carry nothing no more.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I actually seen. I just got back from TFCon Toronto, and I seen this guy, and he's got this wagon that he puts all his stuff in, and he made it look like Optimus Prime's trailer. And I was like, "How much?" He's like, "You don't got enough money." I was like, "Yeah, I do, but how much?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'll sell it to you for $500." I'm like, ah, "I'm okay. That's plywood. I can make that myself." But
Uh-huh.
it was cool. I thought it was cool. Um,
Nice.
so what kind of 3D printing do you actually do? Because I know there's multiple different types of 3D printing. So maybe you could tell everybody what kind of 3D printers you're using to do these.
Yeah. So what I recommend are the Bamboo Lab P1S printers. They're about like $5.99. They're on sale right now. So I got mine like about a year ago. I got one. I was like, man, this is taking too slow. So I got a second one. I was like, okay, now I'm picking up some pace. And now I'm like debating whether I want to get a third and fourth one. So that way, I could really print out things faster. But I recommend the Bamboo Lab P1S. It's really beginner friendly. It's like really pretty much plug and play and auto calibration, auto leveling. And all you got to do is just like figure out how to work the slicer, which is built in software. But that's what I recommend for beginners. And it's like a lot of the stuff that I've been doing, I don't sand. I hate sanding. So once when
When
it's
it's that
done
big, you
printing,
shouldn't have to, though, right?
what's that?
When it's that big, you really shouldn't have to, right? Because I heard people just use like heat guns and it smooths out some stuff too, right? Is that true?
It
Or
depends. It depends on the type of plastic you're using. I use PLA for my stuff. That way you get the really fine definition of it. ABS, it's a little bit different. I mean, I don't really use ABS at all, but again, like the fine lines, that's what I love about it. It's like once you like with the Metroplex, all I did was just straight out paint it right away. And same thing with the Triptychon that I did. Like that has no paint. That's like from Toymaker. And then there's another fan that modified those files to make it look like a Triptychon. So there's only like two of us in the world that has this. It's done.
wow.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to like sneak those in for the costume contest and just say there's someone in there and just can't move.
Yeah.
I'm
You
sure
could
you'd
actually put like
win.
a little toddler in there if you want.
Yeah, now that would be something.
Yeah.
Have a seat in there for a kid and just sitting there chilling. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Like this, I got a couple of people is like this Unicron, right? Like it's like, oh, that you could actually turn that into a costume for a cosplay, but you just got to figure out how to like fit it for your body where it's hollow and like it's not heavy all day. But yeah, this could actually fit like a human in there.
Well, I would think if you made something that big that would fit a human, the first thing you would do is mold it and then do it in fiberglass instead of actually
Oh yeah,
using the plastic, because then it'd be cheap.
plastic. Yeah.
Like a lot, it'd be a lot lighter if it was fiberglass. Just a couple layers of fiberglass instead of all that plastic, because that'd probably be really heavy, even if you could figure out how to support it without it breaking and all that kind of stuff like that. But
Oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Um, so I started when Prusa first came out. You remember the Prusa printers?
yeah. I
Yeah.
did a Mendel Max a long time ago.
So I bought that when it first came out, and what happened was is I didn't know that I had to learn all this CAD programming and stuff.
Yes.
So I spent a few days learning CAD, and then I started building my project. But the
Mm-hmm.
like the 3D file was perfect. I built it myself. It was something I wanted. It was just going to be a modular box for plants, right? So, um, yeah, it's crazy.
Yep. Yep.
But what happened
That's
was is the printer was always lifting on the corners. So I
mm-hmm.
just get so frustrated. So what did I do?
Yeah.
I bought the Prusa 2,
Mm-hmm.
and it came with a broken bed. So they sent me a free one. So now I got three printers, and they
Yeah.
also sent me an extra bed. So I'm like trying to do this stupid box, and it just will not work whatsoever. So then my friend says, "Well, get one of them resin printers." Okay, so I bought a resin printer. No one told me, and he didn't tell me that they're very, very toxic and they smell really, really bad,
Yes.
especially back then. So I'm printing and I'm like gagging in my room, going, "What the
Mm-hmm.
hell? Why does it stink? It stinks so bad. Am I burning wires or something? Anything?" And I was like, "No, I'm done. I'm done."
Yeah.
So after that fail, I was like, let them sit for a year, and then I ended up just saying I'm not even using them. They're just big paperweights. I sold them all real cheap, and I didn't think about 3D printing until I started seeing the stuff that in the last 2 years, like your stuff, man. Like I'm like, you could do that with a 3D printer. What the hell was I doing just selling those things, man? Like, and
Yeah.
honestly, I'm kind of looking for someone that wants to work with me, that does very good 3D printing and stuff like that, that can make accessories for a company called New Age. That's what we just talked about that a little bit before the show. And
Right.
New Age is masterpiece, legendary scale figures. And once you check them out, you're going to understand why I think accessories should be made from, because they're small. You can like do a whole bunch on one board at one time
Hmm.
and get them out to people quickly. So, for example, one of the examples is this. I bought Grimlock, and he comes with a flame crystal, like it's like a crystal orange sword, like it looks like flames, but he doesn't
Right.
come with his original sword. But the other colors of him do. And it's like all the other Dinobots come with their swords and not this flame sword. And I really want that sword. I've reached out to them a million times, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we can't just give you the sword. You got to buy the
Yeah.
character to get the sword." And it's like there's got to be a better way. And when I asked you to do the interview a while ago, that's when I was thinking about this. I'm like, maybe you can get your hands on doing some of this stuff once you see how good it is. Because I'm telling you, you'll be really impressed with these guys. Like, I wish I brought some out here, but I didn't. So, I can't show you. I should have, but I didn't. So let's get back to your Triptychon that you got over there. How long did that actually take you to do?
Let me go over here. Sorry, it's like a mess. I live in an apartment.
It's okay,
So,
man. I
um,
got toys everywhere. Look at that thing, guys.
yeah. So this right here, this took about less than 2 months to do with two printers.
Wow. And how big is that one?
About 40 inches tall.
Wow. He's just massive. So he scales up right next to that Metroplex pretty good then, right?
Yeah, that's Metroplex. That's 40 inches, and this one transforms 3 ways.
Oh, wow. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And and then you got the man. So
I have a
you're
I
saying,
have a Metro I have a Metro Titan right in front of me, but it's like all covered up. But that's like about a 5 footer that I'm doing.
wow.
Yeah.
So
Again, I'm telling you, like I didn't even know any of these characters until this year.
so what did you think after you seen the 86 movie as an adult?
Um, I, it's
Were you
mixed
still
emotion.
disappointed? Yeah.
Disappointed. I was like, dude, like all these characters, they killed them, and then I watched it the second and third time to, start to appreciate just that part. Like, oh yeah, like they just did it for new toys and everything. And then I started watching the whole Netflix stuff. Like I like those because again, like it brought back some memories and like it's a little bit more modern, but and then I started watching combiners. I was like, oh wow, there's a bunch of combiners. So I love the combiners, especially like the Dinobots. They were my favorite. And then getting them to combine, I found a Shuriking, and then I found out about Like Toys doing extension kits, 3D printed extension kits, to keep them above the 22-inch mark to match with the Jin Bao Devastator. So all my combiners are all over 22 inches, and that's the reason why I started going the height
So
of
big.
these titans here, so that way I could match it up with my masterpieces. Kinda.
Okay, so now that you're doing um, Unicron there,
Yeah.
what, when you're finally done with him, are you going to make him his rival Primus?
So the designers, I'll give you guys the other the what do you call it? The members, the 3D printing members that actually these guys are the heroes that design these models. Like they're my heroes because again, I wouldn't have done any of this without those guys. So I'll give you a list of them so that way they get full credit for that.
Okay,
But yeah, the guy who designed Unicron here, he is designing a Primus in a year.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yes. So once when that's ready, um, I should probably have like 3 or 4 printers ready to go, and I could probably print that out in less than 2 months, or probably.
I can just imagine how your place is at night when your 3D printers are going. You're probably like,
No, no, it's like all in my
No.
living room. It's pretty quiet. That's what I
Okay.
like about it. They're pretty quiet, yeah.
See,
And
mine were.
I live in a 1,000 square foot apartment with two kids and my wife. So my
Uh,
living room is just full of these Titan. I didn't even know what a Titan was. And then so
okay.
I have like about like five robots over 40 inches tall sitting in my living room.
So they're bigger than your kids.
My kids are all they're just sharing one bedroom on
Oh
their
my
own.
god. So like, you got Titans bigger than your kids. You got a carpool with these
Yes,
guys one
I
day.
did. Yeah, I actually brought I put Tripticon in front of the passenger seat, and he just took up the whole the whole passenger side, and then I was just like waiting for a cop to just like look at me as like, what is that? And then so if I were to take one of these Unicrons with me, I plan to actually put them in one of the passenger side,
That's
and then
awesome.
buckle them up. Yeah,
You got to get someone to do a short video on that one where you're pulling up with Unicron beside you. That'd be so sick.
yeah, I could
Yeah,
do a short on that.
that'd be awesome, man. All of a sudden, you pull up, man. Get someone from McDonald's or something to film it while you're pulling up to them and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
Yeah,
can I take your order? Can I get a side of Cybertron, please? Yeah, that thing's awesome, man. So again, you're doing this to scale with the masterpiece size stuff. So are you looking to buy all the combiners once, like in the future when you start making room and collecting them and all that and getting them all set up how you want?
yeah. I already have all the combiners. I have like a mix of like Zeta of like the Superion and the Bruticus. I need to get a DX9 Menasor. That's like the missing one that I have. And then I have the Computrons, the Defensor, Devastator. I have majority of the combiners. I just want to make sure that they're over 22 inches to match my collection. But like I
No,
started doing these, like these little blockies right here. So that way
like
they could kind of scale with that.
sorry, swallowed the bug there for a second, but yeah. So man, he's just uh, I couldn't have that in my house, man. I couldn't. I couldn't. I couldn't. I turned into a kid right away and start,
Yeah.
putting Galvatron up there. What's going on?
Yeah.
All that kind
Like
of good stuff.
I plan to sell this like just like an upper bust of like Unicron. So that way, obviously a 6 foot um robot's not gonna really fit in everyone's house, but having like a desktop of an upper bust of Unicron, I think people would buy that.
I've been trying to ask people that do 3D printing forever to do this for me. So Mastermind Creations, right? Ocular Max, they came out with these tapes that are the exact same size as tapes, right? I want, I seriously want and need Soundwave and Blaster that actually fits these tapes, but also has storage in the back of them to fit the other ones because
Mhm.
there's so many. But on that scale, you'd be able to have like the row right down his back where you can like put 10 on like if you lift up his back, you can put like 10 tapes there and have one still in the middle, right? I think that
Mhm.
would be, I would love to have those guys. But again, the scale, everybody's like, oh, that thing will be like 3 feet tall and blah blah blah. I'm like, I don't care. Print it. I'm the one
Yeah.
gonna buy it. Print it. Like I think
Yeah.
that would be sick to actually fit a normal size tape in there and then have the storage for all of them. Because I think there's what um, I think I got like 27 now of them. So there's quite a bit of them, right?
Yeah.
So and they're
One
gonna
thing
be
is like
go ahead.
one thing is like I don't know how to design any 3D modeling. Like I just know how to use the 3D printer. Like I don't know how to design anything. So that's like one thing when people ask me, "Hey, can you custom design?" It's like, "Ah, sorry, dude, you gotta find a designer." But the only thing I know how to do is just like load up a file and press print, and then glue things together.
Yeah, but you could get like a 3D like image of Blaster and Soundwave, and then
Hmm.
just cut it down the middle and hollow it all out and make a hinge,
Yes.
right? You can still do
Yeah,
that
you can
kind
do
of
that.
stuff, right? Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't want them to be in like robot form. I just want them to be big enough where that tape actually fits in them, and there's still some storage in the back. Like especially for blasters, Blaster would probably be that big, right? Normal
Hmm.
size boom box or whatever, but there's no speakers in there, so why not make it storage for all these tapes and stuff? And I think people would like that too, even for their normal size, like masterpiece tapes and stuff like that. Because look how many Transformers over the years that have come out with those tapes, man. They don't all
Yeah.
fit inside Soundwave, so you got to store them somewhere. Why not inside one of them? But yeah.
Yep.
So, I don't know if you've seen. I think it's called Studio Cell. They have different
Yeah.
versions of Unicron. Are you ever going to attempt to do like pieces where you can swap out that you can do that, like with a clear hand or whatever and stuff like that?
I don't plan on buying it. Actually, the designer who did this one, this is actually a studio cell variant. And
Oh,
then
that's cool.
the one up there is actually a HasLab variant up there. So it's
Now
actually both HasLabs, but 6 footers. And they don't transform, but they have full articulation.
that's so cool, man. Like
Yeah.
honestly, uh, you know, I hope you actually get invited to the cons, not just going there
I
with your
did.
stuff.
Oh, I
Oh, okay.
did. So Mike Seifert, from the 3D printing group, he actually saw he saw the Triptychon and the Metroplex, and then he invited me to become a 3D panel speaker at TFCon 2024 of this year. So that was like, obviously I've never done panel speaking before, so I have a video on my YouTube channel there on it. But yeah, I actually just showcased both Titans at TFCon 2024 as a panel speaker.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they didn't come to Canada. What the heck, man? Come on.
I'm out here in Los Angeles, man. I don't know if I
I
could bring these on a
don't think
plane.
you. I don't think you could bring them around me anyways, because I think they'd be passengers are coming all the way back. Those
Yeah.
cool, man. Like honestly, I like anything that has to do with Transformers. I was a G1 guy forever, just stubborn as hell, and up to a couple years ago, and because of my people around me saying, well, just because you don't like it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, because you got to think about this. It keeps it going, and I keep on telling everybody I talk to, G1 Transformers for the first 2 years was awesome, and then that
Yeah.
movie came out,
Yeah.
and then they came out with season 3 and 4, which weren't
Yeah.
really even seasons; they were a bunch of stuff thrown together. And I keep saying, why can't they do what X-Men's doing and give us
Yeah.
a Transformers season 3 '86 and go
Hmm.
from '86 to 2005 and
Hmm.
slowly bring in those characters like RC and Hot Rod,
Yeah.
so that they're not just automatically there. Like
Yeah.
no explanation why they are there. Who is Ultra Magnus? Who is
Hmm.
Cup? Who are these people? Why are they there? Why are they in my Transformers movie? What is the point when you didn't give them backstory? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
go back, give us a couple more seasons, at least. And well, if it was up to me, they give us all the way from that to 2005, 2000. But I know they wouldn't. But at least give us 3 or 4 more seasons of that G1 style cartoon, and fill in
Yeah.
those blanks, right? And
Yep.
I always say this, man. I love these third party companies because they're giving us like even though this is a retooling of a character, but here is another bad guy and she's female. Okay, I've always said Decepticons need to have more bad guys
Hmm.
because there was half the many bad guys than there was Autobots. Well, probably even less than half. And it's like everybody's got to have their rival. Everybody's got to have a rival. And like again, you said about the Netflix show, and that's when I first found out about Sound Blaster, not Sound
Yeah.
Wave. And I was like, "There's another one of him. That's so cool. Why couldn't they
Yeah.
have brought him into a storyline and stuff like that?"
Yeah.
And I think that if they did like also from '86 to 2005, they can also explain how all the beasts on Cybertron escaped and became Optimus Primal and all that other kind of stuff like that as well. Tie in some
Hmm.
stories so that it explains everything, so all that lore makes
Hmm.
more sense, right? So yeah. So everybody, don't forget to subscribe to 3D Printing Titans, okay? Because you're not going to want to miss all the stuff that he's going to be posting and building over the future. And I'm sure you'll see him at other cons pretty soon. Um, but anything else you want to add to this that you want to say to everybody?
Yeah, man. It's really fun. It's like a whole new addiction. Like I was into cars, and then like I've been spending money on that. It's like all right, now my money's been shifting into this, which is totally fine. It's just the whole nostalgia. It makes me feel good. And then not my kids are not into it at all. They're just full playing their whole video games, but just having these like unique toys, like these huge robots, it's like I just appreciate it. And then just like building it out for the community, having having seen the joy, like honestly, like the people at TFCon 2024 when they saw the two Titans over there, like their eyes just like lit up, and you just see like the huge smiles on their face because again, it's like they're so used to the whole, the Metroplex of the Triptychons of like that are like under, 2 feet tall. Now they see
Yeah.
these huge giants sitting right in front of them in person. It's like, and then they just start like going around the whole thing, just like looking at it and just like I just like appreciate all that stuff. And I just get a joy just like building these robots and
Yeah,
just
I
sharing
would
it.
too if I had the room to do it. But I have
I
like
don't have the
literally.
room. I don't even have the room at all, man. And I still build
Yeah,
it.
but you got room. I don't even have room. Everything has to go in totes and into storage because I don't have room, man. It's like ridiculous when you get up to like over 3,500 transformers and all their boxes and stuff like that. It gets a little
Yeah.
bit crazy, right? Like you don't have much room. But
So my wife,
yeah.
she goes, "How many are you planning to build more of?" And then I told her I have two more Titans left, which is Scorponok and is it like what's the name? The Max one?
Oh,
Um,
Fortress Max.
Fortress
Fortress
Max,
Max.
yeah. So those two guys, there's another designer. I forget who designed it, but I'll give credit to them. But those two, they're going to be also 5 footers to match with my Metro Titan.
Okay, what about the Arc and what's it called the Nemesis? What about them guys? What if
I have no plans for that right now.
no? But
Yeah,
something might happen,
I
right?
I could probably do a little one for this one, so I could like maybe have a display piece for that. But I have two more Titans, the Scorponok and the Fortress Max, and then we'll see what's after that.
You're missing one too. Then that's that new one. What is it? Tidal Wave, I think it's called.
Tidal Wave, oh Primus, that's the third one. Tidal Wave, I don't even know who Tidal Wave is.
Okay, he just came out, and I don't like Transformers like this, and it's probably why I didn't buy it. Is because
Yeah,
literally three Transformers that turn into a big boat, and it's like, ugh,
yeah,
ugh. Like it's not
yeah,
for me. And it's actually supposed to like merge with Megatron, but what Megatron is going to be big enough to merge with that? They didn't design it very well, in my opinion. But I'm kind of like happy with Transformer or Hasbro in the beginning. I'm not so impressed with what they've come out with since these movies because every time I get one of these toys, it falls apart. Like
hmm,
something falls off of it, and I have a big pet peeve for that. Like if I'm spending good money, I want this to be solid. And speaking of solid, I don't know if you ever heard of Kang Toys uh,
yeah.
with
I've
the
heard it.
Thunder. Yeah, so they have a Predaking they call Thunder King.
Hmm.
Now, if you make one of them, you got to do a 12-footer because he's so detailed. Like you wouldn't be able to get away with no 6 foot guy or that guy, man. He's just so
Yeah, dude.
massive. Yeah, but
I'm like, yeah, man. I'm 5'7", and like just having these 6 footers around is like this is crazy. Like people just like you're crazy. I was like, somebody has to do it, so I did it.
well, it's a shame you live in an apartment building because they would be good Halloween props.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, someone's got to print you a Cybertron though, where he can grab it and just hold it. you know, this that claw motion. When
yeah.
he's
Like this, right? Like these two. These I decided like the whole pumpkin orange thing. That's what I did with these two guys, and then the third one here. I'm planning to do that whole yellowish type of from
nice,
the HasLab one or the Studio Cell one. So this one's probably gonna be a different color.
nice,
Yeah.
and anybody that watches this or watches your channel is going to be extremely jealous or say, "Well, can you build me one? Can you build me one?" You might
Yeah.
have orders, brother. You might have orders. You probably already have
Yeah.
people at TFCon on asking you, right?
Yeah, yeah, I could do it. Obviously, custom work is not, you don't do minimum wage for custom work. It's going to be, I charge a couple $1,000 because it's a lot of work. But I could do these upper busts for people and ship it
Yeah.
out. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is easy. I don't want to do
Well,
legs because again, you're gonna have to deal with like joints or the person. Like, there's no ratchets. I mean, there's a guy who's designing ratchets, but it hasn't been proven yet where a 6 foot tall robot will buckle or not. That's what I'm trying to like prove or test that theory a couple months from now. But right now, it's all like ball joints, which is really tough because when you start 3D printing ball joints, the tolerance is like out of whack and this thing could just buckle and just drop and like break into different pieces, which is I'm really scared to actually stand them up because of that reason. But having like a desktop of just like a bus, I think people
yeah.
would buy that.
Or you could always turn them into a mini fridge.
Yeah,
Yeah, would
yeah,
that be cool? Open up and you have a couple Cokes in there or something. Start
hmm
watching Transformers. You know,
yeah,
have them
yeah.
hold the
I bet you a
popcorn.
designer. Yeah, I bet you some guy who could do some mechanical engineering could turn this thing could like open up into like a fridge or something.
Yeah, yeah, and have him so he could has his hand out like this. He could put a bowl of popcorn. You know, have it printed like the what is it, Cybertron? Like you just have a Cybertron in his hand and it's filled with popcorn. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Yeah, I
No,
think the guy who's planning to design Primus, I think he's planning to start that design in December. So I'll hit him up again just to see like if he has any like ETA on the design. But yeah, that'll be one of the things to like have his brother. I didn't even know. I just found out they're brothers.
well, shoot me the links and I'll put them up in this
Yeah.
video as well. I'll add them to
Yep.
the video as well. There's nothing
Sure.
more I like than connecting with other people. And thank God we have this technology today where I can talk to someone that's thousands of miles away and we can talk robot and it's all good, man.
Yeah,
So
dude.
I think we're going to end this. I want to thank you for coming on, and I greatly appreciate it. And everybody out there, make sure you like and subscribe to his channel, and all his social media is in the descriptions. And also, before I go, don't forget I'm coming up on my giveaway for this Galvatron figure, so don't forget to hit the like and subscribe for my channel as well. And yeah, that's about it. Anything else you want to say before we end this?
No, just appreciate you inviting me with my first ever YouTube live. I mean, the whole 3D panel thing at TFCon, that was a good experience meeting with fellow fans and talking with you about Transformers. I appreciate everyone.
All right, man.
Thank you.
Anytime you want to come on, you just let me know and we'll do this again. All right,
All
it was
right,
great
thanks.
having you on. All right,
See you guys
everybody,
later.
this is Freakenstein saying, keep playing. Freakenstein out.